Oh, wow, do I look a mess today? Hey all you Hillmaniacs, it's Hillmanator. So today I figured I'd give you the best tips on how to pick a course and a university. I realise a lot of you are already at uni, but for those of you who aren't, hopefully this will be useful. Question number 1. Do you want to go to uni? Really consider this, because if you don't, then you're essentially wasting 3 years. There are other options. You can either go into the job market, or you can get yourself an apprenticeship, or you could theoretically stay at your college or sixth form and get more A-levels. It's all completely up to you. But, I mean, presumably if you're watching this, you know you want to go, you just don't know what you want to do once you've gone. Now, do you have any subjects that you're particularly passionate about? Do you have a favourite subject? And are you passionate about that subject because of the subject or because of the teacher who does the subject? Because one of those is far more sustainable than the other at uni. If you do have a favourite subject that isn't your favourite because of a teacher, congratulations! You can study that at uni if you want. If you don't want to do that, or you've answered no to any of the questions that I've asked, then it's going to get a bit more complicated. I would recommend looking into subjects that you hadn't really considered before. I know at my school personally we didn't do sociology unless you specifically went down that route. Media and film are also great examples of this. I had never done film before university, and I'm not recommending that you just jump in blind like I did. I would say always do your research. Are you only going down the subject route that you... Question 3. Are there any open days that you can go to? Because this is crucial. Now, I didn't go to any open days, and that was a massive mistake. There's a whole previous video where I explain that, I'll tag it at the end. But open days are the best way to decide if you like a uni. When you're there, you're going to want to take notice of accommodation, of the feel that you get from the town, of availability of food, if it's a campus or city uni, which, trust me, it does play a role, what sort of activities there are for you to do in the area at the time, and of course, the course. For me, the course was the most important part. I didn't care about anything else, and if you find something that you're that passionate about, then it's great. If you hear about a course that takes your fancy while you're on an open day, attend that stuff about that course. You never know, you might actually enjoy it so much you decide to study it. Now, presumably you have the course in mind that you want to do. I have one final question for you. Are you just doing that course because someone told you it would be a good course to do? People like these can range from your parents, to your careers advisor, to even your friends. And while all of them have your best interests at heart, they don't know your heart as well as you do. The aim of university is not to study the thing that will statistically get you the best job. It's to study the thing that you are passionate about enough that you can make that into a career. My careers advisor was very against anyone who wanted to do humanities. And frankly, she was wrong. All the people who I've been talking to have massively enjoyed it. And a lot of the ones who have graduated from it have sustainable careers. So don't just blindly follow whatever anyone suggests. Even if they are someone close to you, you aren't going to university for them. You're going for you. Now that you know what course you want to do, finding a university will be so much easier. When you're at the open days, remember to ask a lot of questions. Now, it might be useful to come up with a list of questions beforehand so that when you're there you know what to ask. One that I would always ask no matter where I was the price of the accommodation, lowest to highest. Another interesting one that you might want to ask is the worst thing about the uni. Everyone on campus will be asking the best thing, and the people will likely have a stock answer for it. But the worst thing? That will be individual, and from that you can really get a sense of how people actually feel about the uni. Just remember, the people who are there on your open days have volunteered their time. They are waiting for these questions. They want you to ask questions. Remember to look, while at each university, at how they're graded, because some courses are exclusively exam based and others are going to be exclusively coursework based, and some are in the middle, and you will know yourself which one you prefer. For me personally, I prefer exams, but because I'm doing the subjects that I am, pretty much everywhere just does essays, which means that I would have to put the exam to the side and get into this new mindset. But asking helps prepare me for that. It's also important to look at the structure of the course, make sure that that fits well around your life. If you're going to be going to Oxbridge or maybe even Durham, they aren't going to want you to have a job while you're there because they want you to focus on studying, which may be difficult for some people from low-income backgrounds. Remember to do your research beforehand and find out if it's a collegiate uni or not, because those are vastly different. I'm at a collegiate uni, so I can only really talk about how helpful it has been and how detrimental it has been. It is very useful during Freshers Week because it means that you've immediately got this group of people who you can identify with. Non-collegiate unis, you don't have the issues of people identifying themselves by their colleges right away, but you do have the problem that you don't know any of these people and you don't have anything uniting you or giving you something to talk about. However, it does also mean that you tend to stick to your college during Freshers Week and make it harder for inter-college friendships to develop right away. That doesn't mean that they will never develop. I have plenty of friends from all the other colleges, but it's something to consider. Fun fact while we're at it, Pendle College was actually the college that James May went to when he came to this university.
Because the coffee has become such an elaborate construct. You have a double chock-a-mocha-tock-a-lot with an extra shot and a dash of chocolate in a cardboard thing and a warning about the heat and the top with a hole that you push in it, and then they say, would you like this piece of splintery wood? It's not even a spoon. and it doesn't stir it up.
If possible, visit the universities again on another open day or an applicant visitor day. Remember, open days are free, so visit as many times as you can to the universities that you're really considering. Now, admittedly, the petrol cost might rack up, so don't go too many times, but if you can visit a university at least twice, then it can be very helpful. Also, remember that while you're there, don't just explore the uni. Especially if it's a city uni, you're going to want to have a look around the town. Make sure that you like the feel of the area, that you feel safe there, because that is massively important. And you should also look at the security for your own accommodation buildings, because that can be a really helpful deciding factor. So that is all of the tips that I have. I hope that you've enjoyed this and that it has been useful for at least one of you. Okay, thanks for watching all. I shall catch you next time.